So you're probably already a pretty good communicator, but there's something you might be doing that's making your interactions less efficient than they could be. It's something that quite a few people do without realizing, especially at work. And that is being overly general or theoretical when asking for something rather than being specific. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I work in HR systems and I get a lot of questions about why something in the system isn't working properly. And often these questions are asked in a perfectly reasonable but not very efficient way. For example, I'll get a question like, hey, do you know why I'm getting an error message when I try to do this? Totally valid question, but also pretty general and not very specific. And I mean, I can think of a few reasons why this might be happening. If it's error message A, it's probably because one thing has been entered incorrectly. If it's error message B, then it's probably due to another thing. But it really depends on which error message it is. And yes, I can look into and help figure everything out. But if you haven't even told me what the error message is, I don't really have a starting point to help you. I can't take a look on my end to see what it might be. And so until you give me more information, I can't answer that. All I can say for now is it depends. And look, I totally get why people ask questions this way. I do this a lot myself. If I'm asking someone for help with something, framing my question in general, theoretical terms seems like the more polite way to go about it. I don't want to overwhelm the person with too much information right off the bat. I'm fully expecting that there's going to be some back and forth, and that I'll probably need to provide more detail. Also, whenever I ask something this way, I'm usually hoping that there's an easy, general answer to my question or problem. Maybe it's as simple as, oh yeah, that's happening because of this one thing that's affecting everything and everyone. Oh, okay, great, thanks. Good thing I didn't burden you with too much information. But having been on the receiving end of a lot of these requests, I've found that most of the time that's not the case. There usually isn't an easy general answer. There is a specific answer to the specific problem. And if you've asked a question that's too general, I really need more information from you before I can start looking into it. Now, I know that most people are just trying to be polite when asking questions like this, but I honestly much prefer it if they are immediately, exceedingly specific, especially if it's at work and especially if it's over a message. The additional information is almost always a good thing and rarely overburdening or negatively excessive. So if instead of this question, I got this, well, now I can see right away what things it won't be and what things it might be. A lot of things don't depend anymore because now I can rule them out. It's no longer general or theoretical. Now it's specific, and I can start looking into it right away to figure out the answer. And having gone through many of these types of interactions, it's really shown me the importance and understated value of being specific right off the bat. Doing this makes interactions so much more efficient, especially when it comes to problem solving. In terms of figuring things out, it moves the starting point from up here to down here. It reduces the amount of things the issue depends on, and it reduces the amount of follow-up questions that are needed. And look, it's not just at work. I can think of so many different life situations where being specific will make things go so much faster and more smoothly. If you're trying to find your friends in a huge crowd, would you rather get a message that says, hey, we're towards the back on the right, or we're towards the back on the right side, between sections J and K? That extra bit of information right off the bat puts you in a much better position to solve the problem in front of you. In this case, finding your friends. At the end of the day, I think making this small but meaningful adjustment towards upfront specificity is a guaranteed way to make your interactions much more efficient. And this in turn will instantly make you a much better communicator. Specificity? More like specificiency. Am I right? Anyway, that's it for today. If you found this insightful, your thumbs up is very much appreciated. You may also enjoy this video, which talks about how to deal with one of the absolute worst messages you can receive at work. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.